We all love Monster Hunter here in this community, and Monster Hunter is currently celebrating its 25th anniversary. That means there's a lot going on with celebrations, events, and upcoming games. So in today's video, we wanted to go over all of the upcoming Monster Hunter games so that you know what's on the horizon. Recently, we had the release of Monster Hunter Now, which some people are enjoying and grinding it out, and it is a real grind. We personally aren't huge fans of it because of the structure of the game, but we can see what is appealing to others in there. However, there's another Monster Hunter mobile game in development. While there isn't a huge amount known about it, we do know it is being developed and what they are aiming for, as Capcom have announced that they were joining forces with the TiMi Studio Group to create a brand new mobile game. One of the interesting things about TiMi Studios is that they are actually pretty broad on the games that they make, as they have worked on some of the biggest mobile games out there like Pokemon Unite, Call of Duty Mobile, Honor of Kings, and more. Currently, we know they are working on stepping into the console and PC space with the upcoming and very exciting looking Honor of Kings World. That game will be an action RPG where you roam in a big open world with awesome abilities and a very wide character selection. They do have a lot of experience building MOBA games in the sort of vein of League of Legends. They've done Pokemon Unite, Arena of Valor, and Honor of Kings, which are all titans within their own right. So if you want to put on your tinfoil hat and speculate and take a guess as to what they might be making out of a Monster Hunter game, it's possible it could be a MOBA game where towers are replaced by monsters and the heroes are the different weapons that you can get, and you can buy armor and gear from the shops to make builds along the way. This is of course one big guess, but it will be interesting to see exactly what they're working on. The press release for this project says that the TiMi Studio Group and Capcom are joining forces on a new mobile game for the iconic Monster Hunter series. The in-development game will reproduce the hunting actions that define the Monster Hunter series and offers players a new game experience unique for mobile devices and phones. It's a first-time partnership between TiMi and Capcom, where they will combine the experiences and strengths of both sides, allowing Monster Hunter to scale to more platforms with an aim to give global hunters, experienced or new, the freedom to hunt as they desire anytime and anywhere. Hopefully this game will offer a more traditional take on the Monster Hunter series when you compare it to Monster Hunter Now, or maybe a whole brand new genre with something that has a bit more depth to the gameplay so we can really get stuck in. This does bring up an interesting question though. Would you play a Monster Hunter MOBA game, or do you have any ideas for what other genres Monster Hunter could be applied to that you think could essentially be a cash cow? I'm just saying, think about Monster Hunter Modern Warfare. But talking about other genres that Monster Hunter could move into, one of their biggest successes is when Monster Hunter went into a turn-based RPG, which is quite a departure from the action style that we're used to, but ultimately we love it. If you haven't tried the Monster Hunter Stories games before, now is your chance, as Monster Hunter Stories is getting a rework, remaster, remake for the PlayStation 4, Switch, and Steam. On top of this, it's actually landing in June, so it's very close now. Basically, if you don't have any experience with Stories, it puts you on an epic journey where you take on the role of a monster rider. So instead of just hunting down the large monsters with your big weapons like you do in normal Monster Hunter, this time you actually befriend monsters and tame them to use them in battle. While initially the game and its battle system might look like it's lacking depth, it's actually really fun, and there's a ton of enjoyment to be had in the combat if you like being tactical, as you need to choose the right monsties, what their weaknesses are, what their strengths are, and so on for the battle at hand. This new remake of Monster Hunter Stories will also have some cool new additions that will make the experience somewhat better than the original, as they're adding in full English VO to the game, meaning we can have a more immersive experience. That's not even including the upgraded visuals for this version and other cool features that will definitely apply to the lore heads out there that want to dive deeper into the game's development, as they've added a museum mode that allows you to look at things like concept art and get additional information about the game. On top of this, Monster Hunter Stories 2 will also be getting a full release on PlayStation 4, and if you haven't played it before but like games such as Pokemon or Palworld, then you are missing out. This is actually one of our favourite Monster Hunter games, and I'm sure other fans watching can vouch for just how fun Stories 2 can be. It even has a multiplayer component as well, where you can build up your own monster and characters and then battle them out in multiplayer sessions with friends. Bear in mind that the PS4 version of Monster Hunter Stories 2 will not be a remaster or an upgrade version. It's essentially a port of the Switch version of the game, but it will still be worth picking up if you like turn-based RPG collecting games and Monster Hunter. And next, of course, we have the Megaton game, Monster Hunter Wilds. Lots of players have been waiting for a game that was more in the vein of Monster Hunter World, and while Monster Hunter Rise took inspiration from Monster Hunter World for many of its components, it just didn't scratch that itch for many players, and with the reveal of Monster Hunter Wilds, it looks like that could change with returning features and what many are speculating could be a full open and dynamic world. We don't currently have a release date for the title at the moment, but we do know it will be released on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series consoles. The dev team for this have actually said it will be their biggest and most ambitious Monster Hunter game yet. During the reveal trailer, we got to see many aspects that the game could include, with the game this time around being even more dense and interactive with its ecosystems of both small and large creatures. There's also something that looks like a dynamic weather system or a change in environment, and the brand new mount, which we've previously mentioned in another video, looks like it comes from an old concept art that Capcom are finally getting to realize in this new massive title. If it is an open world game though, we are wondering how some of the core gameplay features will change, with things like how monsters will spawn, as normally you go out on a hunt. On top of this, we're not sure how multiplayer will function into it as well. For instance, maybe there will be a shared zone out in the open world where you can bump into other players, similar to how Destiny functions. If the game ends up being how we hope it could be, then the idea of implementing massive dynamic world bosses that players can team up and tackle together will be amazing, and they kind of started working towards this in Monster Hunter World with the Kolv Taroth fight, as other players in the lobby would actually aid you with their progression in the hunt. We think it would be awesome to have 16 plus players in a lobby fighting the same huge monster, but with the visuals of a new Monster Hunter game, it would be truly epic. Also, the fact that if it is an open world game, it could mean that water combat may make a return, and if that does happen, will the GOAT Lagiacrus make a comeback? All in all, Monster Hunter Wilds is sounding and looking super exciting. We can't wait to see more so we can learn more about it. So these are all of the Monster Hunter games on the horizon, and we do hope that them re-releasing the Monster Hunter Stories games means that they could be prepping to target a wider audience for the release of Monster Hunter Stories 3, as that would ultimately make our day.